All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with.
My proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hold on, my son's just like being extremely loud right now. All right, let's do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 122nd episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silva. Across that way is the co-creator and writer of Ace Blade, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Age to Geekdom Network via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. Okay, you're right. This is weird.
It is, right?
This is weird.
This is weird. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's just a different time, but like Friday, you know, I work a 9-to-5 job. So this is the end of the week for me. Like I just got off of a live stream on TikTok and, you know, trying to push the Kickstarter and stuff. And like, I'm tired. I'm legit tired right now. Like, this is weird. I'm usually energized because I've woken up. I had to get a chance to eat in the morning, but I'm legit tired right now. So if I seem low energy, I apologize.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know what's happening, this is our first episode on a Friday. It's our new time, 5 p.m. No more early mornings for me. No more mid-afternoon for Danny.
Right.
And this is different. Like my wife and my kid are making dinner right now. Usually in the morning, it's just me down here. I have the whole first floor to myself. It's quiet. I can do whatever I want. And yeah, I mean, we have to stick with this at least until the end of next month because we got some people lined up, some important people lined up that they've already set on their schedule for this time.
We're gonna make it work. And the real reason that we decided to do this is because we both have shows coming up during the summer, and you know, it's a lot tougher to do a Saturday podcast or live stream when we're both doing comic book conventions and stuff like that. So we decided to move it to a Friday afternoon. You know, this would normally be when Five Star Friday is, but they moved, so we slid in here in this spot. So yeah, and we got some new I was comments already.
I was like Black Roman Podcast, Rod Hyatt, Evolutionary Morgan.
Yo, shout out to y'all. Thank
you for being part of this.
See, we're reaching a new audience already.
All right. Speaking of conventions and comics and your shirt, you got something coming up soon, right?
Absolutely do, man. Ace Blade number 8 is going to be on Kickstarter. I'm not going to say when it's going to go live, but I will say it will be live July 19th. It will be live July 19th.
When is it going to go live?
I'm not sure.
No. When is it going to go live?
It's going to go live within the next 7 days. I'm not going to say. I'm only telling the people on Patreon exactly when it's going to go live because my folks on Patreon have said that they are going to pledge for these action figures, and because they are they're my dedicated fans, I said I'm only going to tell y'all exactly when it's going to go live. So I will say that it will be live on July 19th, but maybe a day and a half earlier than that. We'll see. What's up, Tony Clapper in the building? What's happening?
As your editor-in-chief, can I say no to that idea of you going earlier than this, please?
No. No, you cannot.
All right. Well, you already got 84 people following. If you haven't already, back the man, or not back the man, but go save the campaign.
Because this Kickstarter is only going to be 2 weeks. It's only going to be 2 weeks on the Kickstarter. It's going to be from July 19th to August the 2nd. and we're going to try to get it done in that 2 weeks.
Wait, you just confirmed the date, so you can't change it now. You just told everybody it's only going to be these 2 weeks.
I said it's going to be live during those 2 weeks. It's going to be live 2 weeks.
All right, whatever.
You're not about to get me in trouble with my Patreon backers. I'm not doing it. Shoot.
Anyways, fine. We've already talked enough. Let's bring on our guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce him, since I want to get you energized for this and heated up in a way.
Absolutely, man. We got the man, the myth, the legend in the building. Probably top 4 best spades players in indie comics. Definitely not number 1 though. We got Paige Alfred, creator of Blowtorch, Pinpoint, and Chess, amongst other things, in the building. Paige, what's going on with you? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Good evening. Good evening. And yes, I am the top spades player, sir. Don't get it twisted.
You might be. You somewhere between 5 and 3 from what I've heard. I don't know where. Like, I don't know if you got the top spot yet, but we'll see.
As long as I'm higher ranked than you, I'm good.
Terrible.
So man, if I'm 5, that means you're like 11. You know what I mean? So
hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But man, thanks for coming to the show.
Sir.
For those of for people in our audience who may not know you, give us a quick introduction to who you are, how long you've been making comics, and what you're here to talk about.
Again, my name is Alfred Paige. I've been making comics since I would say 96, if not before. I'm the creator and writer of Chess, like they said, Blowtorch, Pinpoint, and just enjoying the indie market like everybody else.
Absolutely. So on your Facebook, it does say that you are that you're from New York. Are you from New York and just living in Florida?
I am from New York. Yep, I am from New York, Queens, New York. But now I'm in Florida.
Okay.
Tampa, Florida.
That's a big difference right there. That's a big difference. Well, Tampa.
Yes, it is. I miss New York every day.
Yeah.
Tampa's again?
But it's not the same kind of busy as New York at all.
It's nothing like New York. I miss New York every day. I miss New York every day.
I don't know if you saw the last episode that we had, but I was telling people how me and my oldest daughter got not stranded in New York, but we were stuck in New York for 3 days waiting for a cruise, and it's one of the most unique places I've ever been. I haven't spent a lot of time there, but having to be there for 3 days, having to figure out how to get around out there is crazy. So shout out to all
for a cruise. Where was you going? Canada or something?
No. We went out to Bermuda on the Norwegian cruise line. So we went out
of New York.
Yeah. Out of New York up there. And it was a fun cruise, but those 3 days getting around, man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh wow. It must have been like a 7-day cruise or something like that.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh yeah, because usually you'll leave out Florida, but yeah.
But man, welcome to the show, man. So you've been making
I appreciate y'all.
How long did you say you've been making comics now?
I think I started in like 95, 96, if not before.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for years. I mean, as a hobby. I started off as a hobby. I only got more into it in the last couple of years.
Okay.
As a more major thing, but I always love writing comic books and writing, those type of storylines and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which parts of the comic book making process do you do? I know you write, but do you do any art? Do you letter?
Nah. I usually work with different art teams. I just do the plots and direction or maybe some edits. But I usually work with a team. So sometimes I write by myself or I work with a different writer, and then we put together the team behind it.
Absolutely.
Now you have a book coming out right now. It's Blowtorch, right?
Blowtorch, Bury the Patch just came out a couple of weeks ago. The feedback been fantastic. People are loving it, loving the action, the artwork. It's actually a re-release because we did it before in black and white a couple of years ago, and then I just re-released it in full color by Iwan. So yeah, people are loving it, and the color give it a whole different look.
All right, we're gonna put the cover on the screen for everybody to see because it is beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
Who's your art team on this?
Thank you. The cover is by Nito Diaz, Jesse Hansen, and Iwan. I don't know how to say his last name. To Wakano, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's the same colors that did the inside the book as well. And artwork was done by Montos on the artwork right before he got the job for Green Lantern. So I was lucky with that one because as soon as he finished that book, he went to John Stewart, Green Lantern. So
oh wow.
That's dope. I think it's that's one of the cool things about indie comics, man. We always are kind of like the proving ground for artists. Like we always get to see, the up and coming artists, the ones who are looking for work, who are hungry for work. And then it seems like as soon as they get their foot in the mainstream comics is gonna snatch them up, man. They're gonna find something. As soon as you see, that somebody's reliable, and that they're fast and they're good, they get snatched up by mainstream. I'm expecting Kyron, as soon as he gets done with this Ballad of the Black Rose 2, he might be off to draw Deadpool or something like that. Who knows?
I'll do it.
Yeah, it's very true. Look at Nito Diaz. Nito Diaz is doing covers, for the longest. And now he's the artist on X-Men. So, I mean, it's great to see that progression of people that you work with.
I love it.
Now, getting back to your book, where does this story fit in the overall timeline of Chess? Like, if everybody's read Chess, knows that Blowtorch was part of that team. So, how does this fit timeline-wise?
It fits afterwards, but it's all in conjunction. I mean, when I started Chess, I always wanted to write a comic book for each one of the characters, a solo comic book for each one of the characters. So, so everybody could get an idea of their personality outside the team, and you could focus on them a little bit more. So, when you started Chess years ago, and then when I first started Chess, I wrote Footpath, like 2 Footpath comic books. That was with Ronin Studios back in the days when I first started Chess. And then I did Pinpoint. Pinpoint was lucky enough to get picked up. And now I'm doing Blowtorch. But next year I'm going back to do a Footpath solo. So, the idea was to explore into the characters themselves outside the team so people could build their own relationship with the characters. When they read Chess, it gives it a different dynamic on how they read the characters when they work together.
Man, I like that. That was one thing I always thought of with Tribe, even though they only had the 4 issues, including the 0 issue.
Yeah.
I always would have liked to, kind of explore Blind Spot and Shift and Hannibal outside of outside of them coming together in this comic. Kind of seeing their an individual story for them. So I think that's a dope idea.
Yeah, so I want to follow that through in 2025. I already started a Footpath solo comic book that's going to be out next year, and then just going to continue the rest of the characters as we go down the line.
Awesome.
Now,
but Blowtorch had a great year. Blowtorch had a great year. You had Blowtorch Bad Roads earlier this year and last year, and now with the re-release of Bury the Past in color, people are really getting to appreciate the character. And it used to be like that for Pinpoint. When Pinpoint first came out, everybody loved Pinpoint. So we're just trying to get everybody to love each one of the characters in their own story. So when I go back to Chess, it just gives a different dynamic of how everybody reads the characters and understand why I write the characters the way I do.
One thing I noticed when I was reading the story was that we were seeing more of Blowtorch's past. You're seeing him reconnect with a love interest and things like that. And I'm noticing though that there's a lot of hardship that Blowtorch goes throughout not just this book, but through a lot of the other books with his disfigurement and his past, things like that. Are we ever gonna get a chance where we just see Blowtorch be happy?
Yeah. I mean, Blowtorch is starting a new relationship. If you read the new one, you see that he's starting to build a new relationship with Footpath.
Yep.
You can see it blooming, and that's going to make a difference in the stories coming up. But you got Blowtorch is a character that had everything originally. He's like the handsome character, football star in high school, big family. He had the looks, everything at face value. You know what I mean. And then when he got his face got disfigured, he went to a bad place, a depression place in his life. Even though his skills and who he is as a soldier and ex-Army Ranger is still there, and how he handles the situations in battle or stuff like that. But he became like a really depressed person and kind of hiding behind his mask, as you can see in the storyline. And then even when he fell in love, when you read the story, how him and the nurse kind of broke up because he's kind of hiding from himself.
Yeah,
you can see that that's starting to build out, and Footpath is going to start bringing that out in the next couple of issues.
Okay.
So he's a deep character, and when people get to read stuff like Bury the Past and get to know who he is as a character, they understand the relationship with him and the team and Footpath in the future.
Yeah, and in the story we even see Footpath go with Blowtorch. I mean, not to give too much away, but she goes to help out. I mean, that's got to be an interesting dynamic to have your current girlfriend come with you on a rescue mission to save your ex-girlfriend. I mean, that's got to be an interesting dynamic in itself.
I wanted to make it like a little love triangle, but I wanted to make the story emotional as much as action. So I wanted to get that emotional effect as much as the action effect. So when he tells his story in the beginning, for to even get there, you could get a sense of where he is and where he's coming from to where he's going to go to. And at the end in the cafe, in the lunchroom, you can see that he gets a little smile, so he does get a little happy for a minute.
I mean, we all need happiness, I mean, there's so many things that make us happy.
We all need happiness. We all need happiness. Yeah.
For me, seeing my wife when she gets out the shower, that makes me happy. Stuff like that. So I mean, we need a little happiness in our lives.
I think that's a different happiness, but we'll go with that.
I think it's a classic.
We'll go with that.
A classic thing for the comic books always have these love triangles, man. It's always dope, man. Some of the dopest comic book stories have had kind of the love triangles. Even like what was it? The Batman and Superman, the World's Finest. They had the Bruce Wayne came in to sweep Lois off her feet, and she was already head over heels for Superman. But that's kind of
right.
So just that's one of those tropes in comics I can always get behind. The will they, won't they, and the is the woman gonna pick the clean cut guy? She's gonna pick the nice guy or the the guy who's got a little edge to him. My wife has been watching that show Lost. I don't know if y'all remember Lost.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the main point. That was one of the main plot points in the beginning of that show. Was she gonna go with which guy was she gonna choose? Was she gonna choose Jack, the clean cut doctor, or the
Sawyer?
bad Sawyer? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's easy to write action. You know what I mean? But action is not remembered. When you're writing characters that you want to have a long lasting, a follow up. Action is not really remembered. But something like Jean Grey and Scott Summers and Wolverine, the love triangle, that's always going to be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People are going to know the characters from something that's deeper than just the action. So the action, as much fun as it is to have somebody jump off a roof and shoot and land on a bike and and the stuff that is fun to write, it's not really remembered after you finish reading the comic book. But something that's emotional and gets you to say, "Oh, I understand this character now."
Right.
That's more remembered than action. You know
I think
what I mean? So
to me, I agree with you about the emotional decisions that characters have made, but action can kind of be enhanced by those emotions, right? You'll remember if the action is based in like the emotional decisions that characters have to make, even if sometimes it might be seen as a bad thing, but even like Batman and Superman, the Martha moment, that was a action scene, but then when they came face to face and he said, "Why did you say that name?" People
Or
remember.
Yeah, I
or
don't
even
know. I don't know. I didn't like that movie, so I'm not going. I can't. I didn't like that movie.
I didn't like it either, but it's memorable because it was an emotional decision that was made during action.
or
Yeah, I understand.
another one is Magneto pulling Wolverine's adamantium out.
Yeah,
That's an action sequence, but it's filled with so much emotion and raw anger that we all remember it when we first
Yeah,
read it.
exactly. Once you connect an emotion to a character, that character kind of sticks to a person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It kind of sticks to them more than just just have them jump out of a window or something. Is what I'm saying. So
yeah,
once they get that emotional connection to that character, because I got people that write me about Blowtorch like, oh my god, I love the way you wrote him and how he feels, and how the book ended, and and that's the connection that you want. So when it goes back to chess, when chess comes back out, and now we're back to shoot 'em up and jumping, and just more action because you don't have enough time to concentrate on one character in the team book.
That's true.
They read that character different. You know what I mean? So they could when Blowtorch saves footpath or he does something, they know why without having to make a whole big thing about it. I mean, you don't have room in the team comic book to do that.
Well, I mean, you brought it up. When is the next chess coming out?
Yeah.
We got plans for chess in 2025, a brand new story arc. I already started writing it, and sometime in 2025.
Okay. Can you give us any details on what that's going to be about?
Not yet, because I got like 3 different scripts I'm playing with. So, I don't know which one I'm going to go with yet. I'm just still playing the idea of what I want to go. But I write chess off current events. So, it might be something this week, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, or that's the influence, and then I hit the news next week and be something else. So, chess is one of those kind of books that I could write off whatever's in the news, or something that catches my attention in the news.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing about having a comic book like Chess is that anything could be an influence. Any movie you see, the next movie you see could be an influence or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part about chess.
Yeah, it's good because the characters can come together for a reason. They, like you said, you developing them outside of the chess title. But you always give them a reason to come back together and work together. So I think
it's fun not having them have no ties to anything. You're just a personal agenda strike team. So whatever they choose to get into, you know what I mean. It's not like a government assignment or something like that. It's a personal one. So anything could pop up. But definitely look out for the new chess coming up soon in 2025.
How did you?
I want to figure it out.
How did you get into writing comics though? I know you said you wrote for a while, just as a hobby, but what made you, kind of go into comics rather than prose or poetry or journalism or something like that? Why did you choose to write specifically for comics?
I would say it's just the influence of those early comic books. Like anybody else reading the early X-Men, early Batman, early Superman. Just the fun of the imagination. You could build these own worlds, or what you want to say. You know what I mean? So, and then when I started out writing, which was the first character I was writing was Pinpoint. He's really off a friend of mine that used to get in a lot of trouble when he was in Queens, and the character is identical to Pinpoint. So he used to be like, "Yo, let's stop getting in trouble." And he used to go in my backyard, and I used to start writing comic books and have him act out the scenes in the backyard instead of being out in the street getting in trouble. And then I started writing more and more. Then I started adding the characters, like Heart is based off my aunt. Airborne's based off Murdoch, like 18. So all these influencers started coming in. Thundercats, G-Force. All these at that time, teen development was all over the place. You know what I mean? You had Thundercats, you had Bionic Six, you had whatever on TV. You know what I mean? So Silverhawks. Everything's like a teen construct. So when X-Men and all these things came in, it just made it easier to have your own team and write these individuals in. And then my influences is people that I knew behind. I use friends and stuff and family.
I'm
worked out
surprised
well.
you didn't mention things like G.I. Joe or Youngblood as far as influences. That's the first thing that
Well, you know, Image started out. Image is definitely a big influence, but Image started. That's the boom of Image, so that was the start. Right, that Image just started. So yeah, Youngblood. Of course, when Youngblood and the Wildcats and Cyberforce all came out, it helped orchestrate how I want to write my comic book. You know, and as far as action and the relationship between the characters. But before that, it was like TV and Thundercats and stuff like that, and everything that was on TV. But then when Boom came out, obviously when Boom came out and you saw the business behind it, you're like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah. And I just stayed with it, you know, doing it as a hobby or doing it on the weekends or doing it in my backyard with some friends. And then you know, it just stayed with me. Like it's like once you get addicted to it, you just enjoy writing, you know what I mean? So
for sure. So I see you also got a book with Comicsburg coming out, Daisy Chain. Is it out already or is it coming out?
It just went to Diamond, I believe, today.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I guess it'll be out, I know, next week or 2 weeks. They're a little behind, but I think it'll be out in like 2 weeks. And the story behind Daisy Chain, with my partner on that, Mr. Mike Lynch, we wrote that years ago. We wrote that comic book years and years ago, and we submitted it to everybody. And everybody's like, "Oh, we like it, but we like it, but we like it, but." So it's either a rejection or a change. You know, we like it, but we want to change this. So you want to change this character, or you want. And after a while, me and Mike was like, you know something, let's just do it our way ourselves. And that's what we decided to do, and it worked out because the first issue did fantastic, my highest selling issue yet, and yeah, we're looking forward to how people respond to it. So far, it's been good, and I'm trying to get used to writing a crime thriller. You know, you've been writing action for so long and characters for so long. That this is the first time I'm writing a character that is not directly associated with me. Yeah, this is something like I'm really kind of making up as I write. And Mike Lynch has been fantastic partner on that, and we put together something that we feel like people enjoy, and hopefully they do. So far, it's doing good. I mean, the feedback on it and early review has been fantastic. Did you have a chance to check it out?
I read it. I enjoyed it.
How do you
much.
feel about it?
Yeah, it was a great story. I especially like the black and white with touches of red just for certain key points in each panel. That just, it makes that panel more subdued. And then when you get the action, like some of the more risque scenes, they make it pop more.
Yeah. You know, when Igor first did, Blowtorch Bad Roads, and he was done with that, and me and Mike still had that script. I was just like, hey, let's just see what he could do with it. So we still had the whole scripts for the first 3 issues, and he was like, let's just see what he could do with it. And then when he started sending pages back, he was like, all right, this is the look. This is the right look. And once you, like you said, added the red in there, he gave it what we felt like the look it needed to be successful. So,
okay. Hey, well, I'm excited about Chess. I know, you know, I've been following you for a while now. I think Blowtorch and Chess are the ones that I'm you know, kind of most excited about following. But you know, you're a dope writer, man. I'm sure anything that you do, you can do it well. So I'm definitely gonna be checking out all your titles for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
it's time now, man. It's 8:30. It's time for quick takes, man. So This is my favorite part of the show. Some of our viewers enjoy it. Most of our viewers enjoy it, I'd say. So, Kyron, I'm ready when you are.
Quick takes.
All right. So,
Okay, what we got going on?
Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. So, I'm going to give you 5 questions. You're going to have 45 seconds each to answer the questions, and these are just questions to let our audience get to know you a little better. All right. So,
All right, let's go.
let's do it. So, question number 1. I know you do a lot of comic book conventions, especially now that you're down in Florida. But I want to know: do you prefer big cons or do you prefer small shows, and why?
You know, you never know which one's gonna be what. I done did big shows that the crowd wasn't there for you. I done did small shows that has been fantastic. So every show you do is a risk. There's no guarantee any show, big or small. So unless you're doing a mega con or something like that, I mean, you're going there with the same attitude. You're going there to meet people. You're going there to introduce yourself and get people to see your product. So for me, it's about the same thing. It's the risk factor. It's about the same thing. Sometimes I do better at a small show than I do at big shows. So
Yeah.
And you could do a big show and thinking because it's it's MegaCon or whatever, you gonna have a great show and go there and be overwhelmed by all the people. And it's not a good show. You go to a small show and because you got more time to be intimate and talk to people, it's a bigger show and bigger opportunity. So
That's facts. That's facts. I think it's good to have a balance. I think me personally, I'm better in front of smaller groups of people because I can give each person their attention, and then I don't do good in big crowds anyway. I got an issue with big crowds from my time in the military, so it drains me.
wow.
So yeah, I'm down with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could be overlooked. People like, oh, I gotta go do MegaCon or New York Comic Con or something like that, and don't realize there's so many people there that you could be overlooked.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You don't get, when you're doing a small show, you got a chance to interact with the people that's coming in and have a conversation, and it's not so crazy. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. All right, question number 2. So I saw that you were a Heroic Awards finalist, and also I believe I believe Blowtorch #1 got a reward or an award from Indie Comics Dispatch also for best cover, I believe it was. So my question to you, and I know we always talk about as indies, would you rather a million people read your comic, or would you ever be able to just sell enough comics to keep making comics? So I want to know from you, would you prefer the prestige of all the high awards, or would you prefer to get enough sales just to be able to continue making comics? Which one is more important to you?
Recognition is always fantastic. But if you're doing comic books from your heart and doing something that you want to enjoy, then obviously doing comics in turn to keep doing comic books is more important. You know what I mean? So as long as you got enough people that helps you keep it up, I think that's more important. Even though the recognition is good, recognition is fantastic, and I appreciate all the awards Blowtorch been getting, and the Heroic Awards and the attention the comic book been getting. But the idea is to keep the energy going to keep writing comic books.
Yeah, for sure. So. For sure. And hopefully the awards continue to help sell the books. Hopefully they go hand in hand and you don't have to worry about it, because that's how it should be.
Yeah.
The awards help promote the books and get more eyes on it, so you can get more sales.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, everything helps. Everything helps, and it's like it goes hand in hand. So recognition helps bring people to your idea, and people enjoying it keeps you going to keep writing. So keeps the energy going to keep writing. So it goes hand in hand.
Absolutely. All right. So question number 3, and this is a question that we ask a lot of creators on this show, because I think everybody has a different perspective on it. I want to know what is,
Okay.
in your opinion, what's the best part about creating, and what's the worst part about creating?
The best part is the fun of the writing, but that's also the hardest part too. So, the best part is the imagination, getting the idea, and the fun in writing it, the excitement in writing it. Danny Quick jumped off the bike, jumped in the boat, and you get the excitement of writing it. But after you get like 2-3 pages in, now you gotta build it, and that's when it becomes hard. Now you gotta build the story, you gotta build the middle, you gotta build the ending, you gotta understand where the story's going, and then that is what starts taking time. So the initial idea is fun, but that's the hardest part and most drawn out part, when you gotta really get into the middle of the character. When you get to 20 pages in, your second issue in, how you keeping the excitement going.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. But that's to me, that's one of the, like you said, the most fun and frustrating parts.
yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, because you get writer's block. People say you get writer's block. So how many times you start the comic book, you get the part you thought about, the fun part, 10 pages in. You get to that page 11, you're like, well, what now?
What's next, right?
Yeah, what's next? Like you already jumped out the building and swung around and whatever. The fun part, now you gotta build the reason why he's there and all that stuff. So
yeah. Okay. All right. So question number 4, and this is, I'm really interested in this one now, that I heard your rationale about making the different stories. So say you can only make one book for the rest of your life. You're gonna get paid forever to make this one book, but you can't do any other books. Would you want to do just a Blowtorch solo series, a Pinpoint solo series, or would you do just a chess book for the rest of your life? You can't do either one of them. You can't do any of the other ones outside of that. You can only do one. Which one do you do and why?
Chess, of course, because I could do everything inside Chess.
Yeah, right.
It's still the same characters. I could write. Blowtorch could have been a chess comic book. Pinpoint could have been a chess comic book.
He said Blowtorch.
I separated it, but it's the characters. If I could, Blowtorch Barry the Past could have been Chess issue 6.
Yeah.
Right. Just with the characters. How many times you read the X-Men comic book and it's about Wolverine going to fight Sabretooth or, you know what I'm saying? It's still the same characters. So
yeah,
Chess is it.
That's the right answer. That is the right answer. Absolutely. All right. So question number 5, and we always do a top 5 list, because we got another show called Top 5 Live where we do yes, we do, Kyron. Stop shaking your head. We got another show called Top 5 Live where we do a top 5 list every week. And so off the top of your head, I'm gonna get you to tell me, since you're I know what your number 1 better be, but we'll see. I want to know your top 5 card games from 5 to 1. The top 5 card games that you would like to play, or the top 5 card games ever. He got serious.
I know I got a top 5. I don't play 5 card games. It's poker.
Poker.
Texas Hold'em.
Mm-hmm.
Poker, Texas Hold'em. Uno.
Uno.
Bidwist and spades.
Bidwist?
Uno, Bidwist and spades.
Bidwist.
You don't play Bidwist?
What is Bidwist?
I never played Bidwist before. Ain't that an old people game?
That's an advanced spades game. That's how I know that your spades game ain't right yet.
Oh wow! Okay. Okay.
So if you don't play, if you play Bidwist, it will change up your whole spades game. Look it up.
I might have to learn.
It's like an advanced spades. It's like an advanced spades.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
4 players.
Yeah. You gotta be a space player to know what it is. No, you can't, just be a comic book creator. You gotta be a space player too.
All right. I'm down with it. I'm gonna learn bid whist just for that comment. I'm gonna learn bid whist, and when I see you,
Yeah.
at one of these Atlanta shows, we're gonna see who's the best.
Nah.
Hey,
If you can't play Bill Willis, you ain't ready for that spades game.
All right, man. Paige, I appreciate you doing that for us, man. This week, Quick Takes is sponsored by Gemini Comic Supply. If you go over to Gemini Comic Supply and enter the code AceBlade at checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire order. So shout out to Gemini Comic Supply.
All right.
That's what's up.
Paige, we appreciate you for being on the show. We want to make sure all our audience follows you and follows your work. So where's the best places online that people can check you out and keep up with you and what you're doing?
Obviously, the Project C.H.E.S.S Facebook page is a great place to see what's going on. Page One Comics on comicexposure.com. And you can get all the exclusives to my comic books, all the Blowtorch exclusives and everything like that. And yeah, that's it. All my comic books are in previews, so you guys go follow all my titles through Comicsburg and previews. And yeah.
And if you guys are watching live or you watch our YouTube, if you see there's a QR code in the top left-hand corner that goes directly to Page One Comics on Comics Exposure, so you can check it out and follow Paige there, buy the books there if possible. But we appreciate
you can buy the books there too and get access to all the exclusive covers.
There you go. All right, Danny, where can people check you out?
The best place to find me is fourthwallpros.com. We got the Kickstarter coming up from July 19th to August 2nd. And if you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. I am on all social media platforms at Taurus Comics, so you can check me out there. And this is the first time you've ever listened to our podcast, you can go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. You can listen to all our previous episodes, buy some merchandise, give us a coffee, support us that way. But please come back next week. We'll hopefully be more in tune with this time frame and get things situated properly. We'll be back next week, next Friday at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to have Beam Award nominee Chuck Cox on the show, talk about his book. But until next week, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.